why did you decide to start an Indic focused publishing center? Like, what was the motivation and what was the story behind it?
Personally, I am attracted to Hinduism and I study a lot of books related to Indology. So that was my personal interest. One. Second is I would like to remember K.S. Naranacharya, who was one of the topmost Indologists of our times. He was speaking about Indology in Yellapur, that's in North Karnataka, and that's where he mentioned about starting a publishing house like Macmillan, like how Macmillan is in the international market. We need to have a publishing house in the Indic market. So that will cater to audience who are interested in Indology and authors who write through Indic lens. So that is where the first seed of Indology or the first seed of Subbu publication started in my mind. And then my dad's 59th birthday was soon arriving, and he has worked in publishing field since he was 18, 19. So he was almost in that industry for 40 years. So I wanted to dedicate one publishing house in his name, and his name is Subramanya. His full name is Subramanya, and people who are fond of him call him as Subbu. So I started that publishing house in his name called Subbu. So a lot of my customer ask what is Subbu, and lot many customers call me as Subbu. Hi Subbu, I wanted this book, and so on and so forth. I tell them that this is my father's name and this publishing house is started in his name. And coming back to our family tradition, we have been running publishing house since 1934. So probably it's in my genes, or it's in my DNA to start a publishing house. And why Indology is because my grandfather, who started Sahitya Bandara in 1934, he was also a freedom fighter. He used to translate works of Tilak, which was written in Marathi back then, into Kannada, and he used to distribute those write-ups or letters or pamphlets, and he used to distribute in the city called Dharwad and Hubli. That's where our base is. So he used to distribute those pamphlets, and there are instances where he was put in jail. So he was a full-time freedom fighter along with an interest in publishing. Post all these freedom struggle and everything, many people told him to start a publishing house. That's when he started Sahitya Bandara in 1934. Probably the same genes or the same DNA has been carried forward through him to me.
For you, what does it mean? Like, what does Indic Renaissance mean for you?
Indic Renaissance is nothing but, we have been wearing glasses which are dusted, which has dust particles on it. So Indic Renaissance is just cleaning that dust which is on our lens or on our spectacles. So the truth is always there. It is just covered with dust. So the Renaissance will happen when we clear that dust which is on our own spectacles. So that is what is required right now for our kids, for youths like us, and for the generation that has gone by. We have to understand the real truth of Indian history, of Hinduism, and generally our dharma, which is universal in nature.
Unveil the umbrella.
Absolutely.
So, who are the foremost intellectuals, or who are the foremost people who are working in this Indic sphere, whom the common people should study and understand?
I would like to give my own personal experience. I was watching a lot of videos and I was reading a lot of books related to Indology. One interesting person that I got to watch his videos is Mr. Nilesh Oak. So I used to watch his videos, and he was talking about Mahabharata that happened in 5561 BC, and he was also speaking about Ramayana that happened in 12,209 BC, and it seemed very crazy to me, because most of the other people who are working in the same sphere of subject, they were all talking about 1000 BC, 3000 BC. So here was one person who was single-handedly spearheading the movement. That's when I sent him a message on Facebook saying, "Sir, I checked your books on Amazon. I want to read your books, and I checked your books on Amazon, and it is costing a bomb to me. It was 3,000, 3,500, and one book, the historic Rama, which we eventually printed it in India, and we called it as 12209 BC Rama Ravana Yuddha. That was costing about 3,500. So I just sent him a message saying, I want to publish your books in India, and I wanted to take it to the masses, and say with a price tag of 349 or 399, which is easy on our pockets. That's when, without even checking my background, without even checking who am I or whatever, he just sent me 3 PDFs. I just sent him a message, he sent me 3 PDFs of all 3 books, and I was taken aback. And he did not send me those PDFs, he sent me a bundle of responsibility, because with those PDFs he was serious, and he was sending that serious message that I have to publish it in India. And that's when I got serious on this particular subject, and then I talked to my press, my printing press, and then here is a PDF of so many pages, so how should we go about it? And I spoke to my designers, and then I also happened to speak to Shri K.S. Naranacharya, and all the forces, like there's a saying in a Bollywood movie that आप कुछ शिद्दत से करना चाहते हो तो कायनात हाँ हो जाता है. तो something like that happened, a miracle happened where Nilesh ji sent me those PDFs, where K.S. Naranacharya inspired me to have a publishing house in Indic platform, and my father's birthday was coming along. So all 3 together, conceptualized and made Subbu what it is today.
And what was the response to Nilesh ji's book? Like, there are many scholars who are refuting his theories, but yet you went ahead and published those books, got those books to the people. So what was the people's response to these claims of Ramayana and Mahabharata?
Astounding response from people. I mean, most of the readers that I've spoke to, they've all been respectful, and they've all been following Nilesh ji's works. And in fact, we sold about 1 lakh copies of all 3 books together, and that was a record, and that we did in record time. So I don't personally see who's refuting whom, because my duty is to publish books on this particular subject, irrespective of people refuting someone else's claim. But I would like to tell those people who are refuting Nilesh ji's claim that if you really want to refute, then refute people like Wendy Doniger or Andre Tosque, all those people, Sheldon Pollock. So refute those claims and show your love for your dharma instead of refuting other people's research. If Nilesh ji is taking our dates back to 5,000, 10,000, 70,000 years, then you should be proud about it. And instead of being proud, there is no point in refuting.
So, we know about Subbu publications, but apart from Subbu, what are you doing to bring forth our civilizational ideas?
To bring forth civilizational ideas, we are organizing a lot of events related to Indology. Last April in 2020, last February, 02/02/2020, 2nd February 2020, we had a big event in Bangalore, which was dedicated to spreading of Indology. We had Nilesh ji, who came all the way from US. We had Dr. Shiv Shastri, we had Sai Swarup Iyer, we had Abbas Maldiyar. All those people who are spearheading this Indic campaign participated in this particular event in Bangalore. And we are organizing many such events wherein we want even the masses. I think people who are reading such works are a bit less. So we want to even get into mass publicity. So that's when we organize such events related to Indology.
And how do you think common man can help in this cultural revolution back the Indic Renaissance?
Just being the right Hindu, doing small things like wearing tilak and not shunning away from doing that, or see, you cannot wear our cultural attire every day. At least once in a week or once in a month, wear a dhoti, wear a lungi, wear a pajama. These small things will inspire your kid or your neighbor or your colleague, and we together can get back this Indic Renaissance.
So nowadays, what we see is to target Hinduism. What the left liberal lobby does is they target Brahmins.
Okay.
So, what do you think being a proud Brahmin is?
See, Brahmins have been carrying the knowledge since 75,000 years of recorded history. If you go to north, like Kurukshetra, if you go to south, like Rameshwaram, or if you go to Kerala, if you go to any corner of India, you will see Brahmins safeguarding our manuscripts, safeguarding our Vedas, safeguarding our scriptures, not just through written documentation, even through oral practices. Like when we first chant Gayatri Mantra, it is through my father that he chants it in my ears, and then I do the same to my son or to my next prodigy. So it is the Brahmins who are doing this since times immemorial, and it is high time that the government of India or the officials give Brahmins the credit they actually deserve.
And what does it mean to being Indian to you? And why should youth embrace this idea of Bharatiyatva?
See, to be very honest, if you see the history of the world, I was in Bath in UK, southwest of UK, and it is called as Roman Bath. It's about 90 miles from London. Even though it is called as Roman Bath, but Romans are not there today. The Roman civilization that the Westerners talk about is nowhere to be seen today. The Egyptian civilization that we talk about is nowhere in Egypt right now. And the Greek civilization that we talk about is nowhere in Greece today. Greek is totally Christianized, and Egypt is totally Islamized, and Roman Bath is totally Christianized. The only civilization that is, since times immemorial, it is the Hindu civilization is called as Apurushaya. It means that there is no start, there is no end. We have been doing the same thing since 75,000 years. So it is high time that we youths take up this job, that the Gayatri Mantra that we chant, or the the thread ceremony that we do, all these rituals have been carried out since times immemorial. It is high time that we carry forward. We need not do anything new. Everything is there since our ancestors, in spite of atrocities on them, in spite of conversion that has happened, they've still carried forward the legacy. It is our duty at this moment to just carry forward. We need not do anything new.
So basically, you are balancing being an entrepreneur and being a dharmic warrior. So why do you take so much pain? Like, what is the gain out of all this?
I want my son or daughter to see what our forefathers have done. That is it is all posterity that I see. That is, there is no gain out of it. It is the Bharatiyata or Hindutva that has instilled in me is what is making me do all these things. I'm a full-time baker. I have 12 plus stores all across Karnataka, and that takes my 12 hours or 15 hours of time on a daily basis. But still, something in me says that give some time to Hinduism or Indology, and make sure that